This is Dana. On this channel I speak about spiritual warfare and more precisely about Gnostic spirituality, which of course talks about spiritual warfare but also about healing and spiritual topics. The last video took 5 days to upload. I am not kidding you. Literally, it took 5 days. I cannot even explain to you the challenges I have with this technology thing. In the current video, God asked me to speak about a topic which I feel like I spoke or I wrote a prophetic writing before on it. But for some reason, God says that this is the next phase for certain individuals. I imagine it's about individuals who started spiritual fighting more recently. So maybe they didn't get a chance to view my video or to read my prophetic writing in which I mentioned. This is about soul work, a work with the soul done by God. Precisely, this is the topic that He asked me to convey today. And this is of course very broad. I will just touch upon a few issues which are guided to me. I said this before. Upon disintegration of the human body or upon death, the soul goes to God. The spirit, though, it's another story. If you healed and integrated, the spirit is together with your soul, and the consciousness is integrated with the supra-consciousness, and then you ascend and you go fully to God, yeah, entirely. That's the happy version of the situation. However, you can lose your soul while you're still alive and your body did not get to disintegrate. I spoke about this. This is very sad situation. It's very common in 3D, though. You can temporarily lose your soul, not because of your fault, but because of very deep pain, very deep trauma. So in very painful situations, you can lose your soul temporarily. You can lose your soul due to certain type of ritualic practices with darkness. There are entities which aim to that, to take your soul. There are offerings done on individuals by these convents, offering the soul of the individual. It happened to me, as I explained in a previous video. A ritual of offering was done on me, offering my soul to a dark entity for a very idiotic reason, because I asked God, I always ask God very much details about these individuals when they do work on me. So I said, why they did this? What was the reasoning? And God said, because you had too much power. So they said, if she loses the soul, she loses the power, and it will be easier for us to defeat her. So you can imagine how crazy you need to be to do such thing for this reason, just so you can defeat someone. So this can be done on you, and this is what happened when I started the spiritual fighting. When I got really upset, and I can tell you it's very difficult. However, I'm living proof that you can defeat it. At the time, I went to almost all monasteries in Romania to ask for help from different priests which were renowned for doing spiritual work, spiritual fight. All of them actually refused. There was just one who actually also saw the broader work, and he explained to me what type of sorcery was done and stuff like this. And actually he even told me the name of the person who did it, and I knew it's that person. I didn't have a doubt. But the priest just offered to me the information. So that confirmed to me that he indeed is seeing what is being done on me. Another priest, and I drove for 2 days to get to this monastery, which was very renowned, and I was sent there by another priest. And when I went there, basically that individual said that the priest said that he's not doing this because he's afraid of Satan. Because if I help you, Satan will take revenge on me. So I can tell you that this is, and everybody was very scared. Many priests were very scared when they were discovering, and they were saying, you know, this is very dangerous. You should pray to God for your soul. And I'm like, yeah, I'm praying, but you know what? Until this is solved, I need to do something. So there is also this chance that you lose your soul because of dark magic. This is even more dangerous than the usual loss of soul, because that if this is successful, which I hope it shouldn't be the case for anyone, nobody should lose their soul because of the stupid ritual done by stupid people. But if it happens, then it's much more dangerous, because it's a I don't know how to say this, it's a bondage of darkness. It's the soul, basically on the soul. What does it mean? God says, explain what it means so people understand. That means that until you do that particular spiritual fighting, first of all, the darkness gets the power from the soul, from your soul. That means that in basic words, it means that you can die very easily, and you can it's very hard for you to carry out the fight afterwards, because with each death and each time when you die under bondage, the darkness gets all the power, and then when you reincarnate, then it's much harder for you to carry on the fight. So I'm saying this so you'll understand that if something like this is done, just fight. Just fight. Don't even entertain for a second the idea not to fight. As I said, many priests were telling me not to fight. They said, this is very dangerous. Look, these people from this convent and this intelligence service, they came to us, to the priest, you know, and they made this offer. If you accept to say that a diagnosis was put on you as being schizophrenic, they will give you pension, and they will you will have an income, and you will stay at home. You won't be forced to go to work, and they won't do anything to you anymore. They will leave you alone. But you have to accept to do this. You have to accept to do these two things. One, to withdraw your official complaint against them, and to say that you are crazy, so nobody will be punished because of this. So I said, no, I'm not withdrawing at all, neither the resignation nor the complaint against them, and I will not accept any kind of crazy diagnosis on me, because I'm not crazy, and there's no diagnosis. And I told him, I don't understand why you're talking to them. If I refuse to talk to them, why are you talking to them? I never gave you authority to speak in my name, so why are you talking to them? And he kept saying, you know, maybe you should accept a compromise with them. And he told me, as a priest, imagine, he told me, he said, there are many people before you who went through this situation, and everybody accepted their conditions. So the priest knew, you understand? There were other people before me, and he didn't help them, and he wasn't planning to help me either, you know? So I basically said, excuse me, once again, what is exactly your name? So he said, he told me the name. He said, why are you asking? He said, I call judgment on you too. Motherfuckers, I will call judgment on each and every single person. Everybody will pay for this, and I will still win. What the fuck you mean? So don't listen to them. I gave you this example only so you will understand that there will be many people who will try to discourage you from fighting. But never stop, never for a second listen to them, because this is very serious. It is very hard to get your soul back, if you accept a ritual of sacrifice on your soul is done and you accept it. If you fight, God will help you. But if you don't fight, it means that you accept it. And this is extremely difficult to break, because it's like you yourself accept to be dominion to a principality on soul level. This is very very difficult. Anyhow, God pulled me towards this avenue in my discussion. I didn't mean to talk about all this. What I was gonna say is that God is doing very broad work with soul, with the soul. He will send the soul, ideally, back to the same body. Yeah. So if you lose your soul, God will try to send the soul back to you, but God can send it immediately. You know, this is why I'm saying just fight, just fight. But if there are a lot of bondages on your body, as I explained in previous video, the bondages and the darkness alters your DNA. So your body holds too much darkness from these bondages. Therefore, the soul will not be able to stay. You cannot hold your soul. You cannot keep your soul. Literally, it's just a discrepancy between the type of light a soul needs in order to stay in the body and the level of darkness that you hold in your body. If you don't fight, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone at this point. I'm just, everybody knows their own situation. But what I mean to say is that if you feel like you lost your soul at any point, and you want the soul back, you understand that you need to cleanse your body of darkness through healing, but also through spiritual fighting, because you need to break some bondages, yeah, particularly the ones that actually led to losing your soul, yeah. Okay, so the idea is God can send you the soul back in the same body if the body has the proper light to withhold the soul, yeah. If not, God can send that soul in any type of embodiment. That means God can send the soul to a totally different body, to a totally different individual, yeah, who is willing to fight, or who doesn't have that I don't know, addiction or whatever you have going that basically prevents the soul from staying with you, yeah. God can send the soul, and God does this very often, sends the soul into animal embodiment. Many of the dogs, cats, pets that you have are animal embodiment of soulmates of yours. I had some discussions, some articles about this, and some people thought this is crazy. No, it's not. You have to know and you have to understand that the pets you have and you hold in your house or whatever are soulmates, and they have a mission and a purpose with you. They come to you to help you, yeah, and through their presence the two of you raise the vibration and the light of and energy, so you can actually start seeing and move on, yeah. So God can send the soul back in different ways, yeah. Now the problem is that many people get stuck with the idea, you know, I cannot break up with this person because he's my soulmate. That individual will be your soulmate only as long as they hold that soul. The second when that soul, when he loses that soul, he's not your soulmate anymore. He's not your soulmate anymore. And it depends from case to case, but that individual can actually become embodiment of darkness, which means a dark force possesses that individual, which in spiritual terms means that you are interacting with a dark force. Let's say Satan, yeah? If Satan possesses that individual, you're not talking to your soulmate anymore. You're talking to Satan, which only is embodied in that body, but otherwise, spiritually, that is Satan. You need to understand this distinction, and I don't know why it's so hard for some people to understand why they still have this problem. I wrote about this from the very beginning. I explained this in 2019. I explained you need to understand that that individual is not your soulmate anymore. That individual is, depending on whatever type of harm and wrong thing he has done, he is a force of darkness. So you have to let him go, because you have common purpose with your soulmates, but you have also individual purpose. And many times, if the soulmate didn't fight, and lost the soul and is possessed by darkness, you are much better off following your individual purpose, doing the spiritual fighting, because as you defeat darkness and dark forces, souls of your soulmates get free of that. Let's say it's about a principality, and it's a curse on the lineage, for example. If you defeat that principality, you leave the curse on the entire lineage. That means your soulmate gets to benefit from that as well. And you freed that soulmate soul from the principality. Now he has to do his own work and spiritual fighting against that principality. But the curse on the entire lineage is lifted, which makes for him the fight easier. If you refuse to move forward and to do the spiritual fighting, and you just stay stuck next to your soulmate, both of you go down. I hope you understand me, So if you have a soulmate and he lost the soul for one reason or another, refused to fight, didn't fight right, whatever, was trapped, was tricked, whatever, lost the soul, you're not talking to your soulmate anymore. However, some people seem to be stubborn and they keep saying, no, I will stay with him because he's my soulmate. No, he's not anymore. He's not your soulmate anymore. Anyhow, if you insist on staying, you're both gonna go down. You're going down with him. Nobody wins anything. But if instead of staying stubbornly next to that thing, you move on your individual purpose, and you do your spiritual fighting, and you defeat all those forces, dark forces, which took his soul or created the situation to lose the soul, or you have a generational curse on your lineage together, which you share together. As you go and move along and you do your spiritual fighting, you succeed in not only creating for you better conditions and breaking the curse and so on, but for entire lineage, which means your soulmate as well, which means it's much easier for him. If God sends again the soul, it's much easier for him this time to fight against that principality or whatever dark force it is, because the curse is lifted. So now it's just a matter of him healing and gathering the willpower and perseverance in order to actually fight that darkness. So it's very important to understand that God is helping you with the soul work, but only if you understand the divine logic. The divine logic is not for you to stay stuck in that situation or stuck to one single individual. The divine logic is move on. Go fight for both of you. Don't stay next to him and both go down. Just move on. Move on and continue your path. There is a chance you might meet the same soulmate. Either that God will place that soul in another individual as you move along, or in the same individual, if that individual starts fighting, because it's also a personal choice. They can choose not to, and that's up to individuals. But you can meet the same soul, in another individual. Now, if God has sent to you, there's one more thing that I want to say. If God has sent the soul of your soulmate in a body, yeah, the purpose, this is the focus. God took me through different routes on this topic. This was the initial thing that I was gonna say. Yeah. So if God sends the soul of your soulmate into a specific body, your role is you have the body. Let me depict this. So you have the soul of the soulmate, yeah, and that soul is in a body which the two of them are, as I said earlier, one is of light, the soul is of light, but at the time of the discussion, the body is synced in darkness because of bondages and all sorts of dark forces and dark work done on him. Now your role is to help that individual. So you're talking to the soul, yeah, to help that individual, to help that soul, yeah, overcome the situation and integrate. This is why soulmates come together, to integrate. Yeah, this is why divine couples come together. The purpose is for you for each of you to integrate. Yeah, again, to clear and heal your DNA. Yeah, to integrate and ascend. This is the purpose. Yeah, so you have the role to help that individual, to help that soul to overcome distinction, the separation of consciousness, the distinction in energy between the level of the soul and the level of the body. And of course, this is done by breaking bondage and by healing. As you are soulmates, it's presumably you share some of the things, good and bad. Namely, you share the generational curses on the lineage. Both of you face that. And this is sometimes how you recognize a soulmate, because you went through the same experiences, although you were not together. It's because of this, because there were curses on the lineage, but there were works of darkness on the entire lineage. So you had the same experiences, or you met in previous lifetimes, in different capacities, and you shared that experience. Sometimes you shared the most traumatic experiences, and that's why you come together in this lifetime, because nobody else can understand besides the two of you that went through it before. So then you can help each other overcome the situation. Ideally, it's not it doesn't mean that if an individual, a soulmate of yours, refuses to fight or to help or so on, it doesn't mean that you cannot succeed. You can. But the discussion is about the soulmates, and specifically about the soul of the soulmates. So your purpose, your role towards your soulmate, it's this. Now, this is the role if that individual fights. If he doesn't fight, then you have no role. You have no role whatsoever, because he's gonna just lose the soul. And then again, as I said, you're better off following your individual purpose and your individual path. And you will help not only him, but the entire lineage and yourself much more if you continue your path. Instead of just staying stuck and accepting this. Goes back to the previous video that I made, in which I said that your focus must be the 5D purpose while you are in 3D. It is very wrong that individuals focus on 3D perception of couples coming together. You meet a man or a woman, then you focus on getting together, making kids, this is not why this is not the role you're supposed to have in each other's lives. Your 5D purpose or your 5D assignment from God is this, related to the soul and the integration and the ascension. And of course you have, pending on how successful you are on these issues, which are vital issues, yeah, then you have much more objectives. Oh yeah. God says objectives. Yes, you have much more objectives that you can establish with God, or of doing good deeds, doing sharing teachings, and doing work with God, basically in 3D. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure that I covered each and everything that I wanted to say, but I think I covered what God wanted me to say, because He diverted me from what I initially planned. Okay, I truly hope that I will get to post this video faster, not again 5 days. If you have any suggestions, please let me know on how to deal with this technology issue. Now, one short announcement before I end this. I already wrote on community board and on my Facebook as well, namely that I'm starting officially, formally, to work on creating advocacy strategies, PR strategies, and to support systematic effort to create legislation which punishes all of dark arts activity. Yeah, I'm trying to be polite. That's why I'm saying dark arts. I'm trying to get back into formal, official protocol type of approach to these topics, because I am starting this official demarche. So literally working for legislation to punish this. Because believe it or not, although it is obvious that it is doing harm to people and it breaks the human rights, all this criminal activity, however, it is not punished. There is no legislation in no country against dark arts. Yeah. Although I tell you this much, you can find public information, and I have for years, the archives of the intelligence services with plenty of proof, again from intelligence services, files, information in archives, public archives, about activity led by very prominent figures in political parties in throughout time, not just now, in history. Yeah. So there is proof that this is ongoing. Okay. And I will focus on this. This actually is what I was doing in early 2018. God was actually showing to me different sides of astral existence. Yeah. And He was showing to me how different things were going wrong in astral. And I was basically just trying to make a list of different type of measures to be taken. Yeah, this is what I was doing in 2018. And this is why the surprise attack, the sneak attack, took place in 2018, because these idiots in the convent in my neighborhood, together with the intelligence service, got really scared that they will be exposed of what they were doing. At the time, God didn't show me exactly all in detail what they were doing. God was hoping that as I start working on this, those from Intel will support the effort of making order in astral, and they will support me, and they will make justice. But since they started war against, you see, since they started war against me to stop me from doing this, Of course, we carried the war. I won, and I'm still doing it, as you can see. So this is full circle for me. I'm at T0, starting again. The official the march in order to have legislation to forbid all dark arts practices. And at this point, after 5-6 years, I also have the experience to be much more precise in what I will formally request to be forbidden and to be punished. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop now because it's 30 minutes and it should be enough. I just make this announcement for everybody who wants to support my work. I will do this publicly, and I will not do it only for Romania. I will actually work with support of international organizations, with the UN, human rights structures, and with many others. But at this point in time, I'm putting together the strategy. So if you are interested to submit information about your particular case, about specific things that you can document, or if you are a supporter of such demarches and you don't have time to waste yourself with this work, but you would like to support and so on, and you're interested to make a donation to support creation of this think tank, NGO, and all that is necessary in order to come about with a strategy and with the legislation, and also with at the time I was thinking, and I'm still hoping to be able to do that, a rescue center for those who actually need help, and so on and so forth. So again, if you would like to support all of these through donations, or in whatever other ways that you would find donations in money or donations in other items, just let me know. But please send a message and I will get back to you, because I don't take phone calls from phone numbers that I do not recognize, and also I don't do chat on all of this social media stuff and so on. Just let me know that you want to support the this project, and then I will come back with a contact and contact you. Yeah. Okay.